Good day, everybody, and welcome back. Last video we subnetted, and now we're going to go ahead and implement our configurations. So here's a basic outline that you guys will get. So we're going to do basic router switch configs. So we can see host name all the way down to crypto key, your SSH attributes, your version, authentication retries, timeout, line con, VTY, descriptions, passwords encrypted. You definitely want to do the service password encryption. It encrypts all the passwords. Okay, so I'm going to copy this into the right device. No. And let's see if we can get a clean config. So it's asking me to, I've done this lab many times today, so I keep pasting the RSA encryption. It keeps saying, do you want to replace them? And that would be a common thing. I want version 2, so I want to go to 768. And notice that the link goes down because we turn this into a because we just turned it on and we were waiting for the switch to go through the 5 states of spanning tree. So once again, we got a switch here, enable, SSH attributes, username and password, and then your access mode ports, your trunk ports. We want to do IPs on your new VLANs, and you definitely need an IP gateway or your switch will not be able to ping outside your LAN. And so once again, message of the day, login, VTY. Switch config. And then what you're getting here is because we're only enabling 5 through 15. So 0 through 4 and then 5 through 15 are disabled because we didn't set a password, which means that we can have 5 individuals VTY SSH into this device. That should not be there. Yeah, we'll fix that. I'm removing it, and I'll take it off my config. Get rid of those two. All right, so now we did this before. We subnetted it out. So here's our sub interfaces. But I always like to get my WAN link configured first. So go ahead and let's look at VHS. You have your serial, your IP address, 97, subnet mask, no shutdown. Router. Now, if you remember, this link won't come up until we bring this serial link up. So until we do this, and let's look at our IPs, 97, 98. So the network is 96, usable IP 97, usable IP 98, 99 is your broadcast. So at this point, I'm going to ping, just a quick ping from up here on your easy access ribbon bar or icons, whatever you want to call them. So we can ping. So now I don't have to worry about this WAN link. So now I'm going to go back and focus on this area over here. So we just did number 3, and we pinged. All right, so now we got to do router on a stick for the VHS. So you got the host name, gigabit, no shutdown, sub interfaces, encapsulation, .100, IP address, subnet mask, sub interface, .encapsulation 200, IP address. So that's all you need for router on a stick. We're in VHS. All right, I'm going to do a show run real quick. All right, so it looks like, see how your passwords are encrypted here? Password encrypted. Okay, it looks good. I'm just looking for these that went in. Good. Okay, I like that. Let's focus in on the switch. The switch has a little bit more config. So you got to do your access ports and attach it to the correct VLAN number. So 7 will be 200. Another access port on 8, VLAN 100, and then you have to have a trunk port, which will be going to the router, gigabit 9.1. Then your interface VLAN 100 IP, interface VLAN 200 IP, and then also your default gateway. And if you want to go back and double check, go ahead. I do it. I always do it because once in a while you have a typo. All right, so I think we're going to ping next. Yes. So let's see if we can ping router to switch, switch to router, switch to router. Now it timed out because of the ARP. Okay. Remember the ARP is I have your IP. Can you send me your MAC? And that's a broadcast, necessary broadcast. Okay, so now we're here. So now we can go configure DHCP on BHS. So I got my exclude range from 155, 155.0.1 to 155, 155.0.100. My pool name VLAN 100 and my network address with subnet mask and my default router. At this point, go to the end device VLAN 100 and see if your DHCP is working. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is a quick ping on my gateway. So this is 155.155.0.1. Good. That's my gateway. So that's my router sub-interface gigabit to .100. .2 should be the switch VLAN 100. Remember, there's a timeout, and that's because of the ARP. Remember, I know the IP, but I don't know the MAC address. So then we can ping 8.1. That's the second sub-interface. So while router on a stick looks like it's working, if I can ping 2, that means I'm going back to the router through the VLAN and back out. Once again, so router on a stick like it's working. I'm not worried about PC 200 or PC 1 on VLAN 200. As long as I have this one working out, it pings both VLANs. I'm confident that host would be fine. Okay, so now let's do router on a stick. So we got your gigabit interface with no shutdown. That's a root interface. And then you don't put an IP on it because that will destroy router on a stick. Then we have sub-interface 300 on .300 with the subnet, your IP address and subnet mask. And once again, gigabit 0400 .1Q 400 IP address. And it looks like it went in okay. We should see a green light. The switch is going through 5 states of spanning tree. It'll be 50 seconds, and then that link will come up. Our switch config is very similar to the other side. We got our access ports 300 and 400. We have our trunk port. Ah, that is not good. Glad I saw that. You can't have access and trunk turned on. All right, so verified gigabit 9.1 is going into the router, so that's going to be the trunk. Then we have our interface VLAN IP address, and also here, and our default gateway. And you can use 16.1 or 16 or 0.1. Either gateway would work. These up here. You could use that gateway or this one. Obviously on your PCs, you got to use the right one, not on the switch. Okay, let's copy this. We're going into CHS switch. Get into config T. Control Shift 6 will stop that. Control Shift 6 will stop this search. So let's go paste. It's giving me good information here about interfaces changing up, VLANs are turning on. So at this point, we should be able to ping right at the switch. So we're going to wait 50 seconds so you can fast forward time. So I'll get a quick ping. We'll go router to switch this time. We anticipate it to fail the first time, anticipate it to fail the second time, and then the third time it actually was successful. All right, I'm going to delete these pings over here so I don't get confused of where I'm at. So we've done this. Now let's do the router on a, I'm sorry, the DHCP on router on a stick. That goes in the router, not like last night when I put it in the switch. All right, now we want to verify. So we didn't do it on 400, we did it on 300. So go to PC2, turn on DHCP. Very good. Now, once again, I want to ping my gateway. Ping my other sub interface gateway, or VLAN 400. That'll be 16. Now I can ping my switches. 16.2 should have 2 timeouts. Okay. Ooh, I was getting worried there. Now let's do the 8.1 or 0.1. I'm sorry. Why am I going back to the other side subnetting? Sorry. Good. So at this point, we verified router on a stick. We ping our gateways and we can ping our IPs on our switches. So the only thing left we have to do. Now, obviously, I'm not securing these 2 devices with the configs on the basic because I'm only going to make you do one side because we have too much configuration to do. But we remember we would secure all devices. All right, so let's bring the WAN link up first. So let's just do this. Now notice it's the same command because it's the same network, the same subnet mask. So really you can just put that into router VHS and we'll leave us on top right now. And what I'll do is go to simulation so we can kind of watch the activity. So as soon as you go in there and paste, it starts the process of the OSPF. So let's watch it. Okay, so that obviously we only did one side, so it's not going to work. But it did send OSPF across the link. All right, I'll bring that back up. And let's go get, oh, we can do it in CHS now. So now we're loaded, fully loaded. So this is good. So let's do a quick do show IP routes. So you have a directly connected network, subnetted 96 down to 30. This is local link. This is, it's not new, but it's kind of, I haven't spoke about it yet, but when you do this, you have a local link. And notice the IP is the exact IP with a 32-bit mask. So anytime you see a 32-bit mask, it's actually saying this is the exact IP. So here you see the local, the directly connected local network. And then you have down here the IP with the 32-bit mask. Same with here. So in older versions of OSPF, we didn't have that L in there. All right, so now let's add. Let's go to BHS and add these two networks, and then we'll see if they get. All right, so we'll go here, go here. So remember, it's throwing OSPF out everywhere. It's throwing the LSA out, the acknowledgements, the updates, the database. Okay, so let's go back and see, do show IP route. Oh, we got to get out of simulation mode. Okay, just remember it takes convergence time. And so I was in simulation, and don't do that because it won't ever converge. Now here I see my new networks. Remember, you have the 21 subnet mask, 0080. The 110 is administrative distance, and it's at a cost of 65. So it's adding up all the link costs of gigabit, and the serial link. And that adds up to 65. So now if we add the other networks for CHS, do a real quick do show IP routes. Once again, we have the local and we have the connected. And then the local will have the 32-bit mask. All right. So now we can paste these new networks we're sharing. And then we can go here and see how fast one time. All right. So when you're not in simulation, it comes pretty quick. So once again, we have we could have predicted the 110 and the 65 because the topology hasn't changed. And then you can see via next hop address and the local interface. All right, so at this point, let's ping. So go to PC and let's ping. So that'd be 200.200.0. Is it 101? Let me check. What's the IP of PC2? 100, okay. 100. Now we're going to expect timeouts. Oh, no timeouts. So at this point, we'll go into simulation. Didn't like that. Filled up the list. Why isn't my simulation working? All right. Well, it's replying. So you'd be able to see go through each layer 3 device and back. And another thing we can do is trace RT to 200.200.0.100. So how many layer 3 devices did we go through? 3 interfaces. So trace routes helpful when it's a bit longer. So I hope this helps and clears up some of the confusion about router on a stick and DHCP. Better save this as complete. All right. That's it for the video.